Okay, how's it going, everyone? Like I said, these are going to be shorter from now on. Today I started late. I'm actually in the process of getting a tattoo, so I had some plans change. I do want to start getting up earlier and doing this stuff, but just because of the scheduling with this, it's going to be delayed until probably next week. So yeah, sometimes I guess plans change. You want routine and all that stuff, but just I guess kind of let what happens happen. Um, yeah, I'm getting a late start to the day, but I still wanna. I got some chores to do, and then I'm gonna work out. But I do want to do the guided meditation, so we'll start that now. And again, it'll be pretty short, though. The purpose is again to you can focus on your breath. If you're not sure how to do that, you can watch a previous video, but you just want to pay attention to all the sensations that you possibly can when you're breathing and try to make it as satisfying as possible. Listen to your body in terms of what your body is telling you is optimal for your breathing. Whatever it's telling you in terms of the length of breathing in or your pauses or outward, any of these things. The other thing that you can do, and the thing that I do most often, is to pay attention to any thoughts that you have, any feelings, any emotions that you can label your emotions, or any external stimuli. So you can pay attention to any one of these things or any of these things. The only thing that you really need to do is to, whatever you focus on, try to give it as much of your attention as possible. And that's really the practice. So it doesn't matter whether you're paying attention to a thought or a feeling or emotion or some external stimuli or your breath. Just give it as much of your attention as possible, and don't try to, try to avoid cycles of paying attention to the next thing. And some mantras that can help here, again, are to just be as conscious as you can. That's the practice, right? Just if you have a thought, be as conscious as you can of that thought. Or take satisfying breaths. That can be another great mantra or affirmation, depending on who you're talking to. Some people I've had people tell me that those are really affirmations, but then other people say they're mantras. And don't get bogged down by any of that. The purpose of this is, again, cognitive easement. So trying to reach a state of no thought or no thinking, and then to, if we do have some unhelpful thoughts, to potentially change those to helpful thoughts. So you can engage with your thoughts as well. If you have an unhelpful thought, try to have another thought out. Try to be as aware as you can of that thought. And if you reach a state of no thinking and you're satisfied, you can do that too. But if you're in CBT at all, or if you've learned CBT, they will recommend some engagement with it, which is a little bit different from meditation, but just having a more helpful thought that challenges that unhelpful thought. So any one of those is fine. So I'm going to be silent for probably, I think, maybe just a few minutes, 3 or 4. And I think maybe every day I'll increase it a little bit and see how far we get. So I'm going to do 3 minutes, I think, here. So 3 minutes of silence, and you can do any one of those things. That's what I'm going to be doing as I sit here. You can do it with your eyes open or closed. You can breathe in through your nose or your mouth. Either one is fine. Just do your best. All right. Posture can also be important. I just want to say that. Pay attention to your posture. You want your... you can imagine there's a string on the top of your head or a rope, and it is pulling you upward. That's one thing I've heard from people to help you get better posture. And then you want your shoulders to drop down. So you want to relax your shoulders in particular. You want to have good posture, but relax your shoulders. And I think that's a good posture. Maybe later I'll talk about the lotus pose, but not for now. Okay, sorry, I know that's more talking, but for real this time. Silence for, let's give it 3 minutes. Okay, I think that was a little longer, and that's fine. I'm not going to really time myself on these things. I think the purpose is just to create some time around the practice. Some things to note. One is that I didn't talk about it, but you get used to hearing things and trying to implement them. And if you don't do everything, that's fine. But one is having your feet flat on the floor. So I've heard that a lot in guided meditations, and that can help you with your posture and stuff. So I'll try to remember to mention that next time. Put your feet flat on the floor. I've also heard another thing, and I don't buy into this too much. I think there's something to it just because of feeling and intuition. This practice largely runs on feeling and intuition, but I actually put the tip of my tongue on the ridge right on the close to the end of, right behind my teeth, basically. If you notice, there's a ridge there, and I've heard to put your tongue there for reasons that I don't buy. But one of the reasons is, and I'll talk about distractions here in a second. But one of the reasons is that as you're breathing out, it kind of forces you to take a longer breath outward, because it's restricting the airflow. So if you do that, if you have your tongue there, it can prevent the air from moving out too quickly and increase the duration, which can cause a calming effect. Again, some people will say that it's connecting some part of your body to the dorsal part of your body to the front part of your body or something like that. I don't necessarily buy that. If you do, that's fine. But it certainly restricts airflow, and that can be helpful. So yeah, as you're breathing in, and even as you're meditating, some people will say make sure that your tongue isn't on the roof of your mouth. So it also ensures that if you're touching the tip of your tongue to that ridge there, then the rest of your tongue isn't touching the roof of your mouth. That can be, I suppose, a sign of stress or rigidity. You want to relax your tongue as well. So just another tip there. And then the last thing I want to talk about is, distractions. I'm sure you heard some stuff going on in the background here. I think from now on, I'll mute for the guided meditation time, just for anybody that does end up listening that finds that annoying. But also I want to say, I tend to not shut down distractions. It's commonly said, or if you listen to guided meditations, they will say to find a nice quiet place with no distractions, and certainly that can be helpful. It can be helpful, especially if you're a beginner, right? It's going to reduce annoyances and stuff. But again, to me, the practice of meditation is that you're carrying this on throughout the day. Meditation for me isn't just the short reprieve that you get when you're meditating. It's the training that you get with your mind to learn how to deal with distractions and overcome emotions and manage emotions in real time. So, everywhere you go, there's going to be distractions, to some degree. And so learning to live with those is part of the process. But I will still mute for those of you that find it too distracting. And especially my animals in particular bug me a lot. So I give them a lot of attention, and I think that probably just feeds them more. But yeah, so that is the idea though. So if something does happen, maybe I'll forget to mute it or something. You can also use the distractions that are happening around you, or maybe even the sounds going on in the mic as just another reason to practice meditation. Practice focusing on the sound as much as you can, and see if you can change your relationship to it so that it's not as annoying, or it doesn't cause the same emotions. And so that's pretty much it. I hope everybody has a good day.